Robert Karpathios here, creator of the Ditch Your Dad-bod Blueprint, and welcome to another episode of Own Your Life. This week, you're about to meet one of our top VIP fat loss students and learn how he torched nearly 40 pounds of stubborn belly fat and regained his confidence after struggling on his own for years. Enjoy.
Growing up, grew up in the East Coast, grew up in New Brunswick. My dad was an executive for a window company, so he was on the road a lot, very busy kind of working lifestyle. Mom was stay-at-home mom, which was great, very stable family life. Thinking back, looking into my childhood, very active kid. Summers were playing baseball and golf, winters were playing hockey. Nutrition really wasn't part of it, right? Obviously when you're playing hockey, you're burning a lot of calories, you're not really worried about it, events were always focused around food, but not ever like really good food. It's like pizza parties and pop and that kind of things. Thinking about it and thinking about kind of what kind of formed my early kind of ideas around nutrition. I have two older sisters, and I would say they kind of influenced me a little bit because of their own journey of dieting, right? And you think about fad diets and thinking about growing up in the 80s and all the different Weight Watchers and all the other types of diets that would come and go. And I would say that was a frequent topic as I look back now, that certainly those were conversations that kind of formed my early views on kind of crash dieting to lose weight. And I think really where I started to get kind of keyed into my weight was kind of middle school, kind of grade 8, grade 9 area. And that's when I started to experience some bullying. Got bullied a little bit in school, kind of, I would say at that point started to get a little bit more self-conscious about my weight. I was a shorter kid, so as I started to grow and develop and kind of go through puberty, gained weight and was teased a lot and bullied at school about my weight. So certainly that was a huge kind of part of my life at that point in time, and really kind of shook my self-confidence. Kids can be pretty mean and say some pretty mean things, and those things stick with you, and certainly no one likes to hear those sorts of things. So it certainly was a difficult time, I would say. That kind of experience really made me kind of self-conscious and kind of developed kind of my, I guess, identity as it related to only being worthy of being valued as a person based on weight. Bullying kind of tapered off a little bit. Started exercising a little bit more consciously to manage weight through my high school years, and I would say I was never like obese, but I would say going into university age, I was fit. I was happy with where my health and fitness was, but it was always one of those things kind of in the back of my head that that self-conscious kind of thinking back of that bullied fat kid from middle school. And that's, I would say, been a constant throughout my life, right? It's always kind of in the back of my head from being self-conscious about my appearance. Where it changed for me was university. I would say I didn't really go through that freshman 15 because I kind of had that experience through high school of having to manage my weight and having that, being self-conscious about it. And then being able to go out and party and have opportunities to meet girls and date and all that sort of stuff. Like you wanted to look your best, so didn't kind of let things get away from me too much. Right after I graduated, I had an opportunity to work a summer with the Toronto Argonauts. That was only like a 4-month stint. So when that ended, I actually took a job working for a fitness club in Brampton as a personal trainer and a fitness tester. I got in really good shape there. I was probably 155, lean, fit, and then I realized this is not going to be a sustainable lifestyle for me. Like, I need to get a job that's going to be able to provide for a family. So right around then that I met I met my wife. At that point, I took a desk job, and that's really when the pounds started to pack on. I was working for TD Insurance in downtown Toronto, taking the GO train back and forth every day, really kind of getting comfortable, but still eating the same way, right? Still eating, 3,000 calories a day like you would when you're training hard to gain muscle, but not working out. I would say the real breaking point was I had the opportunity to have a couple of really mind-blowing trips. I'm a huge golfer, and I got a chance to go play Pebble Beach, which is kind of one of my favorite courses in the world. But you think about going around San Francisco, getting up in the morning and my feet hurting and my back hurting and my knees hurting, and then this amazing experience in Hawaii with so many great picture opportunities, and looking at the pictures and then kind of cringing at I don't really want to put any of those on the wall, right? And not being proud of how I looked, and then looking at, okay, I turned 50 in October. Like, at some point, things have to change. One of my friends who's a little bit overweight, he looks over to me. He's like, Glenn, we got to do something. We're fat. We got to do something. And I looked at him like, yeah, we do. And it was more someone that I've looked at myself as saying that they're overweight. And I never really saw myself in that same way. And I'm like, okay, people see me this way. It's got to change. As I look back and where I got to the point of getting interested in the program was, I can't continue to be on this yo-yo of up and down. I need to find something that's going to be sustainable for the long term, not just for myself, but my mental health, which impacts my family. I've been in the program now for 9 months, and I've lost 39 pounds. When I started this journey, I'm like, okay, if I can get down to like 170, I'll be happy. And sitting here today, I'm at 162. I've pretty much had to replace my entire wardrobe. Even clothes that I had bought, my skinny clothes are too big. And it's just been a really incredible journey for me. I would say that the biggest thing that I've seen is just the continued growth in my self-confidence. The part that attracted me so much was when you talked about, the triangle, and the part that was, the base that was missing, which was community and accountability. Having a network of people that you can speak to, and when you're struggling, reach out to, and when you're doing well, you want to be able to champion your success, right? And success breeds success, right? And I think, my professional career, you want to surround yourself with successful people that are going to help you lift yourself to another level. And I think that's really what the brotherhood within our community does. One of the great opportunities I've had a chance to participate in was a VIP muscle camp. So there I got a chance to meet other men in the program that have had incredible results like myself, people from all walks of life. And it's really great just to see, we've got doctors and realtors and teachers and have the same struggles, the same challenges, and are getting the same results. It helps push each other to get to those new levels, not just looking to maintain, but also to continue to grow and get better together. And then, so being able to network and grow your friendship group and your network is fantastic. But I think that's the other part too, is continuing to grow in your knowledge of how to take your results to the next level. So being able to be there with Coach Rob and have him kind of break down your form, and looking back at that and just looking forward to continuing to grow in the program and maybe having more opportunities to do similar experiences is certainly something that I'm looking forward to. I would say I'm quite successful in my career, working for the bank as a senior manager. I had been in a role for a number of years. I took a chance on myself and took on a new challenge, which is something I probably wouldn't have done, a year ago, because I've kind of trusted myself that, I'm good enough to do this other job. Let's take a leap of faith and do it. And part of that is because I bet on myself in the program, and knowing that I can take a chance on myself and see the results through the other side. I think about being a role model for my son, and being able to show him that, if you put your mind to something, you can achieve it. And wanting to set a positive example for him. And then again, just that thinking of that self-confidence in my relationship with my wife, and just having that knowledge that, I can be a strong, supportive partner that she can be proud of. I'd recommend this program for any man that's been, struggling in a similar way that I was, right? On a, poor self-confidence, yo-yo, anyone that's looking to get long-term sustained results and to be proud when they look in the mirror, I think is a perfect candidate. If my story sounds at all similar to what the experience you're going through right now, what I would say to you is you're worth it. Bet on yourself. And, if you make that commitment and you make that investment in yourself, you'll see the results on the other side.